Hello everyone, my name is Spaghetti and today I want to show off my Cosmo deck. So I've probably played over 150 matches with this deck and there's been a lot of variations of this deck that I've done so far. Right here, what you see, this is the one that I've been rocking with and have been having the most consistent results with. The extra deck kind of doesn't matter now. If I had all the ultra rare, I would throw in stuff like Black Rose Dragon and Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, just to have more options. I was also running with this one for quite a while. It was like a variation of the Cosmos and the Zodiacs. But ultimately I find that I just get the best results if I literally just run pure Cosmo. Tin Can Man, if you're not familiar with the Cosmos, is the bread and butter card of this entire thing. He's the one that makes everything happen. Basically, you summon him, you end your turn, and then you get to pick 3 cards. Usually it's going to be Dark Destroyer, Farm Girl, and Dark Eclipser. You can also search for like your magic and trap cards, but basically what happens is you want to get Dark Destroyer in your hand, but even if he goes into the graveyard, and his effect is when he's summoned, he can destroy 1 card on the field, and then also when he dies, you get a level 7 or lower Cosmo onto the field as well. So the Cosmos are great because they kind of regenerate. So yeah, even if he does go to the graveyard from Tin Can Man, if your opponent doesn't select him, and you get Farm Girl or Dark Eclipser, then you always have the option to still bring him in with Back to Front or Call the Haunted. So basically a God Hand with the Cosmos is literally just getting Tin Can Man and either Call the Haunted or Back to Front. What you see is we run Back to Front at 3 and we run Call the Haunted at 3. Back to Front is actually really great because it special summons them in defense position, but unlike Call the Haunted and other variations of things like Back to the Front, if your opponent destroys Back to Front, it doesn't destroy your monster. Unlike Call the Haunted, that actually does destroy your monster. We have Cosmo Strawman. He can be actually like quite devastating, and he is used for a lot of the OTKs in this deck. Basically what he does is on your main phase 1, if you pay 500 life points, then you can target one of your banished Cosmos. You can actually bring it back to the field, which is used for a lot of the OTKs. I'll run Ogre at 1. Basically it's just a good way to get things off the field when effects are pop. Effect Valor, if you already have an Effect Valor, might be better for you, but if you have Ogre over Effect Valor, she's great as well. Farm Girl as well. If Farm Girl pokes you in, basically if you do any amounts of life points with Farm Girl, she gets to search for any Cosmo, and then basically from there it's literally just GG. The combos are endless. So basically what you would do is say you have Forerunner on the field and Farm Girl. What we do is Farm Girl attacks, Forerunner attacks, Farm Girl search, her effect activates after you deal life points. You search for Dark Destroyer, then you use her effect to bring out Cosmo Dark Destroyer. Cosmo Dark Destroyer's effect, destroy 1 card on the field. You actually then will destroy your own Forerunner after he already attacked, and then you will select someone like Dark Lady, for example. Dark Lady is really great because not only does she negate effects, but even though she's a 5-star Cosmo, she can also bring out the bigger Cosmos once more. So then you can go Dark Lady and then go into like another Slip Rider that's already in your hand. Actually, not Slip Rider, you go into like another Dark Destroyer or another Forerunner, and from there it's basically just GG. Ash Blossom I run at 3. Obviously Ash Blossom is just one of like the most meta cards right now for negating a lot of things, shutdowns a lot of decks. Sadly Ash Blossom is a huge counter to the Cosmos, as they need to activate an effect to summon out the big guys. Honest I run only at 1. I did mess around with Dark Honest for quite a while, but I find that I didn't really need Dark Honest because if I have someone like Dark Destroyer on the field, he really can just get around like big heavy beaters by his effect popping them already. As for someone like Forerunner or Slip Rider can't, they kind of need to have that power difference. So running Honest at 1 is really good. Running him at 2, I find you just grab them in situation where you don't need them. Cosmo Good Witch, once again I run her at 2 simply for another option with Honest. I used to run Wicked Witch, as she does have the better effect at 2 over Good Witch, but I switched her down to 1 simply because I want more options. With the honest, Slip Rider's really good because he can pop your back row. Dark Planet, I mean, he's kind of one of those ones that we only run at 1 because a lot of the times you really won't go into him. Basically, you can go into him by banishing in your hand Cosmos that equal up to the level of stars or more of him. So there's situations where I'll draw like Dark Planet, Forerunner, and Dark Destroyer, but I have none of the pilots like Tin Can Man or Strawman, so I have no way to summon Dark Destroyer or Forerunner. So I'll kind of just go into him, so he's kind of just like a big 4,000 beater out the gate, as well as if you have Cosmos in your graveyard, you can banish them to negate magic cards as they're played, so that's really good. 1 Heartbeat's Feathers Duster is good. You also have the options to pop back row with Slip Rider, so there's no need to run like Mystical Space Typhoons or anything. 1 for 1, obviously just another way to get Tin Can Man on the field. Cosmo Town is basically our field zone for the Cosmo cards. It does various things, like you can bring your Cosmos back from the banish section, as well as if you don't get the cards you want, you can return that many Cosmos from your hand back into the deck and draw the exact amount of cards. Emergency Teleport works really well for either if you're in desperate need of a Tin Can Man. Once again, another search for Tin Can Man. You get his effect off before he runs away, and then hopefully you would have a Call the Haunted to be able to still play your Dark Destroyer. But you can also use it once again to just summon Farm Girl and get that poke going for the OTKs. Very good for those OTKs. Cosmojo, honestly, a lot of the times this card's amazing because, like, yeah, you target 1 Cosmo monster you control and destroy it, and then you can banish 1 card on your opponent's field. It's really good because once again it can be used for the combos, like if your Dark Destroyer already attacked, you can even pop off your own Dark Destroyer, get his effect to go into Forerunner, and then Forerunner attack and do that final bits of damage. Or you could even go once more into Dark Lady if you already have Forerunner in your turn. That way you get 3 attacks from that 1, but obviously you can also banish 1 card from your opponent, which is just amazing. Really good card. We run it at 2, and then obviously we run the 3 back to the fronts and the 3 of the Call Haunted, so we only run 1 Solemn Warning because between the Ash Blossoms, the Ogre, and Dark Destroyer just popping things off left and right, and him just always being on the field coming in and out, that's basically all you need. For extra deck, we don't actually run 15 as I mentioned before, as this deck really doesn't go into extra deck often. If you find yourself in a situation where you randomly have 2 Slip Riders, you can get yourself a Cyber Dragon Infinity. You guys know how busted this card is already. You can pop stuff back into the hand here with Castel if you only have 2 of your 4-star monsters. Stardust Dragon, we kind of just have them in there to be in there. Obviously Ash Blossom is a tuner. There's been times where I had Ash Blossom on the field with Tin Can Man and Good Witch, and it was just good to go into Stardust Dragon to be able to finish off that last little bit. Big Eye is really good for times when there's randomly 2 Forerunners on the field, as well as Dracosack. And if there's ever really a time where we're like kind of scared of spell cards, after the 2 Dark Destroyers get their stuff done, you can actually just easily go into Hopebringer. Once again, I kind of don't like really using the extra deck more because like the Cosmos have those effects that when they die, they get to bring out like a smaller one, and they kind of like just never end. So I usually don't go into the extra deck, as you kind of end up shutting yourself down. It only really is for like desperate measures. The only one I really find is effective is really if you go like, if you randomly have 2 Slip Riders going on the field, going into Dragon Nova and then into Infinity seems to be pretty busted. All right, if you guys like this little tutorial on how to use this deck, be sure to like and sub and comment what you think of the deck overall.